on, everyone? This is Adrian from Tribe 3 Productions, and I'm here with Chuck Popov, in which we are officially with a brand new segment today.
Right. We have a special guest here for tonight, and she wants to get her word out to everybody. And some things are not really fair, and so she's got more to say tonight, I think.
Absolutely, and I think that with the when these elected officials are in office, a lot of us don't know what goes behind the scenes, or at least for me, myself too, right? But I think that this is a great opportunity for us to showcase what's going out there across the board. And today, actually, we come out with a newer name for this special segment today, and it's called the Pulse of Chicago. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with our guests. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Ramona T. Bonilla-Anaiel, and
hi, my name is Patrick Gibbons. I'm a community activist in Chicago and Chicagoland area. Thank you, Tribe 3 Productions, for having us here today.
Yes, thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, earlier, a week ago, my friend Chuck was telling me about what was going on, similar to what was going on with the story, you know. Mm-hmm. And early this morning, I was able to see one of the shows that was aired, and and I have to say, wow, this is really very, very interesting. Yes, and for those of you folks, this is going to be something that it's going to be a learning experience, because a lot of us don't know what's going on, especially for myself too. Right. So I just want to clarify something, that Tribe 3 Productions is here giving everyone the platform to you know, speak their mind, speak their voice. So we're in pretty much not in favor of any party, but we are neutral organization. We're just simply want to have the individuals have their time and tell the people and speak up and speak their minds, right?
Speak their minds out. That's what it's all about. Freedom of speech, number one thing.
And with that being said, Ramona, let us know exactly what is going on.
okay. So my name is Ramona T. Bonilla-Anaiel, and I work for Chicago Public Schools for 19 years. I am one of the elected board members. This is my third executive term. I am the chief steward for Chicago Public Schools, and I am also in the bargaining team for Local 73. Back in January, the principal had called me to his office to tell me that he wanted to talk to me about some concerns and some protocols, and I said, okay, that's fine. When I went to the office, he told me that he had some concerns because they bring concerns about my social media, and that he knew that it was my First Amendment and my civil rights to have it. Anyways, he proceeded and he started talking to me about the protocol about that if ICE or anybody from the government comes to the school, that I wasn't supposed to give information, it's confidential, and all this other stuff. You know, they think that I'm going to gather information. And the reason is because I am the Republican committee woman for the 31st Ward, Belmont-Cragen. And this is, ever since they found out this, they think that I'm going to give information or say anything about students or employees or anything, and that's not the case, and that would never be the case. So anyways, he proceeded that I wasn't supposed to open the doors or give anybody information or anything. And I said, well, first of all, I'm not security. I'm not the administration. I'm just a seeker, and I work with the children in the back. I do not do any of that, so that is not my responsibility. So anyways, he's the only one that knew about the concern about the information. And then after that, like about a few days later, Diane Palmer, the president of Local 73, she sends me a letter stating that we need to have a hearing on the 29th, which is this Saturday at 10 o'clock, 300 South Ashland, at the union office, suite 400. And the reason was that she's saying that I am racist, discriminatory, homophobic, and transphobic. I am neither of that. I have campaigned for this lady, Diane Palmer, president of Local 73. I have campaigned for her for 3 executive terms. I have never shown her any kind of racism, any kind of anything. I work with all kinds of people. I work with all kinds of children. And I never had any problems in the last 19 years. All of a sudden, because I am the committee woman for the 31st Ward, Belmont-Cragen, Republican, now it's an issue, and now they're trying to take me out of my seat. And this is the problem. They're there to work for me. I'm not there to work for them. And we need representation from these people. They're the ones getting our union dues, and we need them to do work for us. We don't work for them.
And wow, that's like very like a curveball was just thrown at me. Let me to ask you something really quick. Now, you mentioned about this protocol. I'm assuming this is a protocol that's probably for everyone, or was this just brought on to you out of nowhere?
I think it was brought up out of nowhere. I mean, there is a protocol, and it was sent to emails. Everybody must have read it, or, I guess. And there was a internal from Pedro Martinez, the CEO of Chicago Public Schools. He sent it out. But I think I was the only one that he called to the office, because he didn't tell anybody else about this protocol. And I was wondering, because I asked other members and other people if they were asked to come to the office to know about the protocol, and they said no.
Absolutely, no one knows about it, Alex, all right? And
But it was sent an email about a protocol. But this specific time, it was just specific for me.
just specifically, and it's amazing how you can't even, they use your personal things or your personal postings against you, and that's what's going on in today's society and the industry nowadays, isn't it? You can't really do nothing, right?
And that's what she did. Diane Palmer, the president of Local 73, she sent all these posts from my social media, and I have examples here of everything that she sent out. This is like over 30 pages of my Facebook page account and my comments. They're not really, I just comment right on point, or agree with whatever the situation may be.
Okay.
And so because of my social media, they're referring to me that I'm racist, discriminatory, homophobic, transphobic, discriminating. And it's not the case. But if you look at the post from her chief staff, Pete DeMay, he's the chief mat, he's a socialist. He has on his page, I believe is racist, criminal, because his page is showing Tesla, he organized and he's doing crime on Tesla, which is like 90,000 people working for Tesla. And they're here for people and workers, but here he is doing a gathering for them to protest on Tesla. And that's 90,000 people that will lose their jobs because of this. And this is the guy that's her chief of staff. Other members in the board, they're saying I'm racist. But if you look at some of these people's TikTok on their TikTok, they have a post. One of the board member, she has on her TikTok, she has that her favorite monkey is Donald Trump. And then she has Donald Trump. I wish I had the thing. And then she has the thing showing Donald Trump as a monkey, a white monkey. That is racist. And there's other things that they say about Donald Trump that is offensive to me. He's my president, and I would stand for him anytime. And that's offensive to me.
Patrick, is this like for your expertise in this field? How common is that going on nowadays?
Well, in Chicago and in Cook County, it's largely Democrat, as you know. And it's unfortunate. Everybody has the right to freedom of speech. It doesn't matter what party you're from, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, everybody has the right to freedom of speech. But the left, they're so hate-filled. They're so left. They're left out of the ballpark, There used to be Democrats where they were moderate and they believed in a sensible conservative system. It's not like that anymore. The Kennedy Democrats have long gone. Now we have nothing but left-wing wackadoodles, and they're trying to censor Republican thinkers, conservative thinkers, even moderate Democrat thinkers are trying to censor over basic, everyday things that we do, like go to the washroom. They're confused in what washroom they're supposed to go to. I've never seen this in my life. I've never seen this in my life, a confused person not knowing what bathroom to go to. And when he suggests he wants to go to the she bathroom, and now that's some sort of transphobic definition. The left makes up these definitions. Transphobic, xenophobic. Xenophobic just came out within the last 10 years. You know, everything is phobic. You know what I mean? They kicked out God in the schools. They're anti-Christian. And now if they have one Republican voice within a Democrat union, a socialist union at that, SEIU Local 73, they'll censor you. They'll kick you out. And God help you if on your own personal Facebook you post something on your own personal time. Right. I mean, that's a civil rights violation, by the way. I just want to say, and that's a infringement on your First Amendment, okay? You should have every right to post whatever you want on your Facebook page. And her fellow board members that she works with, they post whatever they want, but that's okay. Right. Because that's their ideology on the left. But God help you if you post anything from the right. Right. You know?
It's for everything nowadays. Basically everything. You have no rights to say anything you want. Even if you go to a restaurant and you say something, they're like, oh, well, that place was great. Well, I went there, it wasn't. Well, you're just mad because they're like something, a black restaurant. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're racist because it was a black restaurant. No, because I didn't like the food. If I didn't like the food, I don't like the food. What's that have to do with anything, of my opinion? Nowadays, you can't even say nothing on Facebook or social media. You can't even say anything about your opinion. It's like you're shuttered in a cage and that's it. Leave him there. He's got nothing to say. Mm-hmm. That's how it is now.
And then working for Diane Palmer, there's there's like 5 or 6, I can say, I lost count, I really don't know, secretaries that have left her office for one reason or another. And one of the secretaries told me that she left because she was afraid that something will happen because she wouldn't give her receipts and information on, or whatever. And the secretary was scared because it was not given to her, and she was afraid that if something was to go down, that she would be blamed. And she said she couldn't work with Diane Palmer like that, so she rather quit, and she quit. And not only that, there's a lot of people that got fired by Diane and got, taken out of the office, either they quit or whatever, because they couldn't work with Diane Palmer, because if they don't go by her agenda, what she says, her way, then the highway. And that's exactly what's happening to me right now. I'm not fit for them anymore, and I'm conservative, and I'm no good for them anymore. So, right. But I'm going to continue. I tell you one thing, I'm going to continue to fight for members. They work for us. I don't work for them. Right. And I'm going to continue to fight for my members. I'm still going to fight for everybody. Our members are getting, fired from their jobs. They're not doing actually nothing for our members. And we need to stand. We got to expose this, because stand on our grounds, because our members are getting fired. Why? And then these managers, these supervisors are harassing our people. They're harassing us. They're harassing our members. They're harassing. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And then when we call them out, like I'm one that I call out. I'm one that I call them out and I tell them, hey, this is wrong and this got to stop. And I'm one like that. And because I do that, well, I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm professional, and I don't do the things correctly. But no, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm going to continue to defend my members at Local 73, right. Even if they take me out of my seat or whatever they're planning to do, I will still fight for my people, and I will continuously advocate for people's rights, and I'm going to continue to do it to the day I die.
And may I say something?
Absolutely.
The union dues, it's such a sham. It's allocated towards Democrat candidates. I mean, your dues, that's their hard-earned money. You should have the right to pick, hey, I don't want my dues going to that Democrat candidate. I wanted to go towards that Republican candidate. Right. Well, you have no free will with this.
No, you don't.
SEIU and CTU is the new mob in Chicago.
Right.
That's exactly it.
And it's crazy just learning what's really going on behind these closed doors. And a lot of people are not aware of it, and I think that, I can sense how passionate you are, because I
Yes.
know the way you talk, and there's a reason why you have that, why people like you're in that position, because you do the job the right way. Unfortunately, I know from even watching some of the news, or at least there's some bad apples out there, but there's still more, believe it or not.
The news will confuse people. The news will do that. They're paid by politics, like endorsements, all that stuff. They will use it. A lot of people don't understand that, because people are just, they're citizens. They're not in the political world. But they do have certain people that are in the news that they're getting paid by political parties. They are.
And let me tell you one more thing. Local 73 has not endorsed no Republican. They only endorse Democrats. And lucky this year, I asked for them to endorse me, and thank God they endorsed me with only $750. They did. And I'm a Republican when I was running for committee woman. Thank God that they did. But they do not endorse any Republican.
No.
They don't.
No. It's just like, it shouldn't, to me, it shouldn't even matter of a Republican or a Democrat. If that person's capable of doing that job, and that person can do that job, like any job, that person should be elected in.
No.
It's your freedom of speech, ain't it?
No, not in Local 73 or Teachers Union, because if you're not with the agenda that they are in, they're not going to endorse you. They're not going to give you anything. So they're not going to approve anything for you if you don't have their agenda.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
not fair at all.
That's not good. I know there's limited information you can probably provide to us or to our viewers, but I'm assuming in the position you're in right now, what's your support like? Do you have a committee for you, or do you have a group of people, backing you up or supporting you? Is that something in place for you right now?
Well, I have my lawyer. His name is Frank Avila, so he'll be with me on Saturday. And then we also have some of the members. I have asked some of the members to come out and say their stories of what's happening with them and how they're not being represented by them, and the persecution that they're going through with the supervisors that they have, and they're harassing them, and they're not getting any help.
If I may say something.
Sure.
We tried, let me tell you, Frank Avila Jr., thank God he came in at the last second, but the Chicago GOP, they should have done something for Miss Ramona, because she's the 31st Ward Republican Committee woman. Now, I'm going to say something about that. They should have backed her up. They should have backed her up. And I'm not going to name no names, but that's one of your own. When one of your own is out there and they need assistance, you're supposed to back them up with all the resources you have necessary.
100%.
And all of a sudden, when someone is in need within our Chicago GOP, they turn a blind eye and they display a cold shoulder. You don't see that with the Democrats. You don't see them cutting each other. Right. Maybe in private, like the mob, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in public, they stick together, and that's why they win elections.
Right.
Republicans are so vicious against each other. They think the primary is the World Series. No, it's not the World Series. Right. That's just to get into the playoffs. The real game is going against the other opponent. Right. If the Republican Party was more united in the city and in Cook County, maybe we would win some elections. Right. And Ramona, she has the capability of not only succeeding in being the committee person for another term, but she's very well capable of winning the alderman position against Felix Cardona in the 31st Ward. She's very capable of running for commissioner for the 8th District, because that's the district we're in. She's very capable, maybe one day running for mayor of Chicago. Certainly she would be better than the bozo we have in today.
Absolutely. Well said, Patrick. That's a very well said statement right there. And I'm sure the people out there are waking up, to this, what's going on. They're starting to wake up, right?
Starting to.
And one more thing, even though I don't have the backup of the GOP and some of the GOP, I'm going to tell you, I'm still a Republican. I'm going to die a Republican, and I'm going to fight for the Republican Party. And I will fight just like Donald Trump is fighting. He's fighting, fight, and that's going to be me.
There you go.
And then not only that, like anything, for instance, I'm a union guy too myself, and I like to fight for my guys, my members, all my drivers that I know and everything like that. I always try to give them information the best I can. But like, I get it, where you're coming from. Like nowadays, you can't have an open mind. You can't say anything you want to do, or freedom of speech is like it's like you have to earn it or something. Like you go on social media, it's like, hey, you can't say that. Oh, you can't say this. I'm like, no, I can say whatever I want. This is my page. You don't like it? Get off.
Yes.
Get off my page. Delete me. See you later. Adios.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear, like, there's instance for people that are like, they get mad if you even go to a restaurant, like I was saying earlier. Like, it's ridiculous. It's getting to a point, it's like, we don't even have our own lives. We can't. Those people are shut down. That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
And I don't think it's fair. And what you're going through, I'm sorry that you're going through it, because that's just wrong. As a union board, a union sticks together, whoever's on the board, doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, I still feel that you should be a power, everyone's together, everything should be worked again, like way.
And you know, I campaigned for this woman 3 consecutive terms. I mean, I did so much for this union because I am passionate in what I'm doing for my members. And my thing is, the unions were made to defend members. The union was not made to be political.
Right.
The unions were not made to do a political arena. This is all about political. No, you're here to be for the members. You're here to fight for members. You're here to represent members, fight for the rights, do what you're supposed to. And that's what I'm here for. I'm not here really for politics. I'm here for the member, and I'm going to continue to fight for the members because they need help. A lot of our members need help, and they don't know where to turn. They don't know where to go. They don't even know who their rep is. They don't even know who to call. Right. They call me from all over Chicago. People call me from Chicago because they heard of me fighting for the members. For the members. Yes.
Right.
And you know what they say, when one person can't make too much of a difference, but when you get a lot of them, team up, come with Ramona, get the more people there is, the more it will work, and you'll shut these people. That's from what from how I see it too, right?
Yes.
And stuff. So for those of you that are watching, I mean, don't be quiet. Don't stay silent.
Don't stay quiet.
Because 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20 of you guys, even 30. Makes a huge difference.
And even if you stand alone, like if I stand alone, I'll stand alone. I know how to defend myself. I remember the lady that's doing my grievance. I can't say her name, but when she was doing my grievance, she said, "Ramona, you didn't need me there. You're doing good by yourself." And I said, "I know, but I still need that backup. I need that backup next to me so I can feel more confident in doing what I believe in." And I love her because she was so good, and she's a good person, and I thank her because she's guiding me to do the right thing. And thank you. You know who you are. Thank you so much.
And it's about the kids' future now. The kids are kids' future too.
Yes.
I mean, we need people that know what they're doing and they care for our kids.
And protect our kids, because we
Right.
need to protect
We
our
need to
kids.
protect our children.
Especially from there's a lot of pedophiles in our schools
Right.
that are doing bad things to our children, and we need to protect our children. I don't care if you're a teacher, a parent, a dad, a mom, I don't care who you are. You need to protect our children, and we need to protect. Let me tell you, I had my daughter for 21 years. I protected my daughter to the fullest, till she's 24 years old. Right. I protected my daughter, and we were homeless. We were in the streets. I had a rough time with my daughter, but I look at where she's at, and I thank God of the way I raised my daughter. Today she works in Chicago Public Schools. She's in the dean's office, and she is a proud young lady just like me.
And that's what it's all about, for sure. That's what everything's about, our kids, our safety for our kids out there and everything. Even like I hope that the police get a lot of backing after this mayor's gone too. That's another thing.
Yes, this
Because
mayor gotta go.
we need to fix a lot of stuff in this city. It's getting worse by the day.
You're
Yes.
absolutely right, Chuck. Our brave police officers have been ostracized and put down by this mayor's office. He said that he's going to get over 2,000 police officers. He has not. He has not done anything. Many positions eliminated. Then he takes away the gunshot detector, which is asinine. Absolutely. We have so many deaths in cases where the shot detector, if it was in place, might have saved lives. This guy doesn't have a clue in what he's doing.
Right.
He's very incompetent. And SEIU Local 73 put in millions and millions and millions of dollars to get this guy elected.
Right. And I still feel like the schools, the Chicago public school system need to bring back the police in the school.
Yes,
Amen.
yes.
They
I
need to
say
bring that back in the schools.
Yes, I said that.
Because right now, I mean, you got there's no protection, there's no safety for our kids. There's not.
Correct.
When I went to elementary school, there was a police officer
Yes,
there,
yes.
and he was
Officer
pleasant.
friendly. He was called officer friendly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. If you really think about it, back then, you're a kid and you're like one of those class clown guys, and you're walking through there. You want to mess with the police officer, but the policeman was great. The police were in the building. They were great. They were like mentors for the
Yes.
ones that screw up all the time.
Yes.
And that kind of eased the crime around too, around the areas
Yes.
too.
And
That's how
I'm for police being in our schools. I'm really for it. I was really mad when they took them out, and I'm for it. I'm for it, and I wish they would bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays it's like I don't have no hate on security guards, but you got a security guy, he's just standing around with putzing around. He ain't doing nothing. I mean, when I was going to school, I was afraid of police. These kids nowadays, they're not afraid of police. They
It
laugh
has,
at them.
I mean, it's just hearing your side of the story and what really goes on, and Patrick, with your feedback and your experience, how you're telling it too, there's a lot to learn. I need to learn a lot about this. You guys have to learn about that. For those of you that are in the dark, just like me, where this is something that we need to be really aware about what's going on in the community, especially for these elected officials that are actually holding these positions, because they hold the power on certain things that can affect not just the city, but our children down the future and stuff. And it's something that really caught my attention when you reached out to us. And you see it on the news, and not just to name anyone or anything like that, but for an example, like the one mayor in is it Dalton, Illinois, the mayor?
Tiffany Hayden.
Yes. That was a whole huge break of the news. What happened? It starts with one or two people from what I saw in the news, and the next thing you know, the whole community is just gather up together, and they're making a huge change there. Yeah. They're really captivating the issue and bringing up a lot of stuff, what that committee or what that office did or so, and you're just like, wow, So if
Chicago can't do that.
well, if they're doing it, God knows what they're doing here, right?
Well,
And
they uncovered the gift room. Remember the gift
Oh,
room?
yeah.
yeah.
Wait for my Nikes.
Yeah,
I,
residents have no clue about that gift room. Totally oblivious.
Yeah, that was a little. I was like, when I saw the live Congress thing and hearing, and oh wow, that was not good.
And he couldn't even answer some questions. They were asking him questions, he couldn't answer them, not even the budget. He couldn't even say the budget.
Everything's always
Yeah.
like they're going the right way, not going the good way, but like when they ask you a question, they don't want to answer that question because they know they're wrong. If
Right.
someone doesn't answer that question like this, then they're
Exactly.
wrong. They're in the wrong.
Exactly.
That's it. So a lot of people don't understand that.
So with that being said, Ramona, what's for our viewers? If this is your time right now to tell them directly, give your direct message to them and just feel what you have to say to them directly. You already addressed your issue. What else do you have to tell them?
What I want to say to the people is don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to speak out no matter if you stand alone. God is with you. God will stand with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And I know right now God is not going to leave me nor forsake me on this matter. Don't be afraid. Speak out and let your story be heard no matter what. And stand up. Stand up for yourself, because if you don't stand for yourself, who's going to be your voice? Who's going to stand for you if you don't stand for yourself? Just speak out. Speak out.
Okay, Patrick,
Pat, you got anything to say?
last final words.
I'm very thankful for you bringing us
Yes,
here
thank you.
today.
Thank you, guys.
Beautiful Tribe 3 Productions. I'm a big fan already. I'll be following you guys, I promise.
Thank you, appreciate that.
What's going on is a farce. They're trying to get rid of Ramona because she has different beliefs than they do. I remember a time where everybody got along with different beliefs. At Thanksgiving, you had relatives that are Democrat, and others are Republican, but we don't talk about politics or religion at the table, right? We all get together and we talk about the good old days. Whatever happened to those days, you know? When people get offended, they try to find any dirt about the person and they get rid of them. That's catty. That's low belly stuff, man.
That's,
You know, and that's the,
we live in a world, different world now.
right. These are the snakes we have to deal with. And there's snakes. And you have a lot of snakes, unfortunately, in unions. You have a lot of snakes in politics.
Yes.
And when good people are trying to make change, there's always the bad people that wants to censor you or put you down.
Yes.
This is much like George Orwell's 1984, where there's total censorship. And it's scary. That's why I love the fact that we have Donald Trump that won over a lot of Democrats, okay? And he speaks his mind. He has his own conviction. He doesn't get a teleprompter like the last confused president, and even though there was a teleprompter, he didn't even know what he was saying. Trump knows exactly what he's saying. He's honest. There's two types of people that when you think about Trump, they either hate him or they love him. There's no in between. And he speaks from the hip. And a lot of good Republicans, we speak from the hip. We speak honestly. And the left, they show their hatred. They call us xenophobics. They call us homophobics. They call us transphobics. Any kind of phobics out there, you know, that's us.
Don't forget racist.
Racist, that's it. We're racist too. So I think they need help. I hope they get the help they need, and it's unfortunate that the union, SEIU Local 73, is putting down one of their own, a loyal person, such as Ramona, that has advocated for Ms. Diane Palmer for 3 consecutive terms, and for her to do this, it's
Shameful.
very shameful.
Very shameful.
And it's cowardly. It's cowardly, very cowardly.
And Patrick, where can our viewers follow you in your social media or your channel or anything that they can follow up on what you're doing?
I have a Facebook page. You can look me up, Patrick Joseph Gibbons. Type that in, and you'll find me. I have a YouTube page, too. Type in Patrick Joseph Gibbons. You'll find me. I've done a number of press conferences in the city, advocating for different things in the city, you know, from the migrant issue. I believe that illegals should go back to their country. That's how you come into this country. You come into this country legally, and it's unfortunate that the mayor didn't think of 68,000 people in the city of Chicago that are homeless. A lot of them are vets, and he catered to the illegals instead. I thought that was heartbreaking when I seen that. So I had to talk up for the vets. I had to talk up for the people of Chicago. I talked up for victims of homicide. And I've talked up for postal workers that were either hurt, killed, or disappeared, like Miss Kiera Coles. So I've done in total of over 60 press conferences in the last 3 years. And I love the people of Chicago, and I'll keep fighting for the people of Chicago, because I feel that's where I belong.
Absolutely. You definitely got a good track record. I mean, your name is you're a very well-known public figure in the city of Chicago. And I got to say, you know, when your name comes up, you know, people either look down or they look the other way. But, you know, I've seen what you've done. I looked you up already, and you've done a lot, you know. So now I know why they're kind of,
We have to open our minds. We have to speak out. We can't, that's what's the part of the good thing about the Constitution.
Right.
You have freedom of speech. You know, I think a lot of people nowadays forgot about that. They actually forgot. Like, you open your mind, you speak up, fight what is right, and that's it.
Ramona, where can our viewers follow you, or at least if they want to reach out to you for the support that you do need right now at this time? What can they do?
Yes. So my GOP is GOP.Bonilla-Anaiel, BONILLAANAIEL 2022 @gmail.com.
All right, and then all the information will be posted in our video description, so we'll have all the available links. And again, Patrick, thank you for coming, and Ramona, you know, I really wish you the best of luck for everything. We'll follow up with the story and keep you guys an update too of what's going on. And Chuck, again, this is really interesting. I know that we have our talks too, and wow, I gotta say that even though you don't see it in plain sight, but it's happening. happening behind closed doors, and that's the scary thing. And I hope that everyone that watches this and for future videos, they educate themselves. I'm a true believer where you got to listen to both sides of the story. You do have the right to the freedom of speech. You can post whatever you want, your opinion, but if you once you do that, make sure you got the facts right or you have the proof, because when you have the proof, that's when they start acting shady towards everyone, right? They want to cancel you out right away, and that's the number one word that you probably that brought up, being a racist. You start saying that, and it's like everyone just follows that without even knowing the true facts.
Correct.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, thank you again for watching this special segment, and again, be vigilant, do your homework, get the facts right, and start looking into who you elect in these positions, because again, it will affect not just the city, but our kids' future in the city of Chicago. And with that, absolutely.
Kids, man.
Fight for our kids and stuff. And overall, again, thank you. Follow up at tribe3productions.com and our YouTube channel. And we have a lot of great things coming up also for the upcoming convention seasons, and also some entertainment stuff that we'll probably be posting up very soon. And again, this is Adrian from Tribe 3 Productions here at the Pulse of Chicago.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned, folks.